everyone, and welcome to the mill today. Today we have a special edition with, I'm actually in person with Jamey because it's Design Day weekend. So I thought we would take advantage of this. Thanks, Jamey, for taking some time from the busy weekend.
Welcome back to St. Louis.
Thank you. Always a good time down here. We're about to do some disc golf and thought we could talk about origin story a little bit since content just started and it's releasing, what, this week?
It's launching this week, I guess on the 15th, and then it'll do the retail release in November,
Perfect. So we just thought we'd ask just a couple questions just to kind of talk to Jamey, and then tomorrow I'm hoping to talk to Pete as well, so you'll get kind of the compilation of both designers there. So on that note, this was codename Cape, in case people didn't know, and this was the one that was interesting because it was on the chart.
Right.
And then off the chart. So, and now it's back on. It's like, I play tested it back years ago when it was a much different game.
Yeah.
So just curious, I kind of combined my first two questions here. What was that like, I can't imagine that's an easy decision, taking something off, and then what is it like to put it back on?
Well, it felt really good to put it back on. So it was on our progress chart for a couple years while two other designers worked on it. I kind of planted I asked them to design it with the idea of a game about telling your origin story as a superhero. And at the time, it was based around building that out of custom dice. And they tried versions of it for years and just couldn't figure it out. And I didn't have time to work on it. And so after they couldn't figure it out, I made that tough decision to pull it off the progress chart. And then it was a truly great day when Pete and I had a moment of connection. Pete's a friend in the area who loves trick-taking games. When we had that moment where we were like, oh, this could work as a trick-taking game, and put it back on the chart. Actually, we probably didn't put it back on the chart right away, but soon after that, put it back on the chart, and it's been there ever since.
Very cool. Yeah, as soon as I saw trick-taking, I'm like, I wonder if Pete's the co-designer. That seems like a Pete thing.
He's appeared on my YouTube channel to talk about trick-taking games. Like, he loves trick-taking games,
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
So obviously we kind of just talked, this is with Pete, and it's not your first co-design or first co-design with someone you know.
Yeah.
So what was the rhythm of you and Pete kind of working on this together? How would you kind of describe that co-designing experience?
Yeah, it was, I would say overall, it was just a delight. A lot of brainstorming back and forth, either talking or emailing, and a lot of playtesting in person. The division of duties, it kind of bounced back and forth. Like I would design some of the story cards, the engine building cards in the game. He would come back with thoughts and about how the trick-taking part of it would incorporate into the engine building. I think with any co-design, there is like a person who is actually building the prototype. You can't, I think it would be pretty difficult for both people to do it. Yeah. But I remember there were multiple times where, and I was that person in this case, where I was on InDesign building the cards, refreshing the cards, revising them after a playtest. But Pete was really good, and I don't think he realized how much I appreciate this. There were times where he would email me and be like, hey Jamey, I know you spent a lot of time working on the digital version of the prototype. We have a playtest coming up. Do you want me to print the cards out and cut them up? It's just a little thing, but that is like a very time-consuming part of playtesting on the tabletop. So it was really nice of him to offer that multiple times. And there were times where I said, no, I got it. I've got a movie I could watch in the background. But there were times where it was a huge help. And that was really nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, because that can be a lot of time to put a prototype together.
It's a lot of time, yeah.
Very cool. So also very nice that you're both in St. Louis.
Yes.
To be able to kind of share that responsibility too.
And my other co-design, there have been a few of them, but the other big one was Red Rising with my coworker Alex, and he was also in St. Louis. It is, while I think probably design something remotely with someone, I probably have, I'm just forgetting it right now. It's nice that I can just get together with someone and play test.
I'm sure. Very cool. So just kind of, we talked about kind of why it's easier. So what was maybe some of the biggest challenges then with Origin Story, either in development or like tweaking it? What would you say was one of the big challenges?
Probably the biggest challenge that we encountered throughout the process was figuring out how to make the game feel substantial, because the whole idea is it's trick-taking with a strong sense of progression and engine building and story building. How to make that whole process feel substantial so you feel a lot more powerful at the beginning than the end, but not have the game take too long. Because a lot of trick-taking games are very short. They're, you play a hand of cards, you're done in 10, 15 minutes. And so we had to at least acknowledge this isn't going to be that type of game. It's going to be a multi-round trick-taking game, kind of like Cat in the Box. Yeah. But how long is too long? And how long is the right length? And how much do we put into the game? Like how many cards do you get in your hand each round? How many events should there be? All that sort of thing. Yeah. So that was just an ongoing challenge to figure out that right length. Yeah. And having played it multiple times recently. Teaching and playing. It's one of our games that where we say 45 minutes on the box, it really is a 45-minute game, which I can't say about all of our games. That time is as accurate as I want it to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, we kind of worked out with the length that we wanted it to be.
Yeah, I would say we did a 3-player game with a teach.
Yeah.
And I'd say it was 45 minutes,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit more, because we were like, oh, wait, oh, no, we're right. If you know trick taking especially, I think it really speeds it up too.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. All right, one last question if you don't mind.
Sure.
Just to end on the fun, positive stuff. What did you find to either be your favorite or most rewarding either experience from the process or favorite part of the game? Just something awesome that you want to end us with.
Well, we talked about the design and the co-design with Pete, but so I'll mention, so a lot of the art for this game was done during the first version of the game, which is no longer the game at all, except for the idea that you're telling the story of becoming a superhero. So there wasn't a lot of art to make for the final version, except for, there were a few notable differences, but the main thing that I asked the artist Clementine Kemper to make for this game are the playing cards, because they were not a part of the original card. So just receiving the art for those cards, I love receiving art from artists, and seeing the art for those cards and how the cards make you feel a little more powerful, even if you just have an 11 or 12 compared to a 1 or 2 in your hand. I love getting that art from Clementine. It was such a delight. And even now while I'm playing it, I'm like, how cool is this that the art for the 13 it looks more powerful than the 1 or the 2. Yeah. Did you all notice that? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I was definitely, we were looking through like, oh, what number does it change at?
Right.
Yeah. So no, we were totally doing that the first time through and looking at all of them. And her art's just amazing.
Yeah.
So very cool. Well, thanks so much, Jamey, for taking a few minutes at Design Day weekend and talking about Origin Story.
Yeah.
So
my pleasure.
All right, so I am now here at Pete. We are, if you can't tell, at the new pieces for Design Day. Pete, the co-designer of Origin Story with Jamey. So, Pete, welcome to the mill for the first time, I think,
Yes,
right?
This is certainly my first time on the mill. Excited to be on the channel.
Yes. So you might have seen Pete in some of Jamey's other videos, and longtime Stonemaier fan, and longtime we've seen each other, I think.
Yeah, we've been to conventions. You've been to Geekway. I've seen, yes.
So yeah. So Pete, just a few questions since we have a busy day and we've been playtesting games all day.
It's true. It's true.
Yes. But I think it's really cool. So earlier this year, you crowdfunded a game.
Yes.
A trick-taking game.
I did.
And now you have Origin Story.
Yes.
Officially coming out this coming week.
For sure.
How does it feel to be on that side of the gaming community coin?
It's crazy. Yeah, right. So for people who don't know, Origin Story will be my first game that anybody can play. And so, I had one crowdfunded, but people don't have it yet. And so these are my first 2 games, and it's so exciting because I'm obsessed with games. I partially got into game design because I wanted some way to engage with games when I wasn't having game nights. So, designing games seemed like the next best step for me. So I feel so privileged to have 2 games out there because it's really hard to get your first game out there. So,
yeah, and now doubling up, which is so cool.
Yes.
And kind of on that, so I can imagine you're friends with Jamey.
Yes, I'm in Jamey's game group. So Jamey and I play games together every other week.
Yeah.
And I see him at the farmer's market. So yes, Jamey and I are friends.
Yeah, but still, Jamey's Stonemaier Games. How did that feel when he just kind of approached you for the first time, you wanna co-design a game with me? What was that like?
Funny story. It kind of came about, Jamey and I play games together a lot. I'm the kind of guy who, I own 80 trick-taking games, so I'm always bringing them to his game nights, and he enjoys them as well. And I actually had pitched another game to Stonemaier, and in my rejection email from Jamey, he also asked me if I'd be interested in co-designing a game, which is the best rejection email anyone has ever received.
That's pretty awesome.
I was ready to say yes before I even read the rest of the email. I mean, it's 100% a dream come true. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's awesome. It makes this for a great story too.
Yeah, I mean it's part of my origin story,
Yes. Oh, well played. Okay, so speaking of that, you love trick taking. You just said you have like 80 trick takers. So what draws you into trick taking as a mechanism, and kind of what are some of your favorites or maybe inspiring ones?
For sure. I mean, so this is something I grew up playing trick taking games. So I played spades a lot in high school. My family played a lot of pinochle, but it's the kind of thing that like, I never knew the word trick taking as I was playing spades and all that. Yeah. And so it's as these modern games have come out that I've gotten back into it. Games like Cat in the Box or The Crew that have become very popular. And I have a lot of these games, what I love about them is that they're easy to get to the table. Since my friends know how to play trick-taking games, I can get one to the table in no time. And they're very social games. I think that, we tend to play a lot of games that are very complicated and rules heavy, and you're doing a lot on your own player board, but these are very like heads up games. Yeah. You can kind of chit chat while you play it. So they're both easy to get to the table and they're very social, and they work as a filler or as kind of the meat of a game night. And so for me, that's a huge part of why I love them.
Very cool. So speaking, couple of questions going straight to origin story here. What did you feel was kind of one of the most challenging aspects, either in designing or developing, kind of anything in the process that you thought was a little bit more challenging?
So the nature of Origin Story is that you're playing a very standard trick-taking game, but you're adding more and more special powers every time you play, which of course, the biggest concern while designing it is to somehow keep it manageable. Yeah. Because if you're playing with 5 players, you get to a round where everyone's got 3 or 4 special powers going. It's a lot to keep track of. So being mindful with every power we created, is this too much going on? Trying to make sure that the powers I decide to activate aren't like totally ruining someone else's game. So it's thinking through all the interactions of all the cards, because there's a lot of special powers in the game. Yeah. So trying to make it so that no power throws off the entire game, and to make sure that the mental load of playing the game doesn't become too much, that was kind of the big challenge, I think.
Cool. Well, I'm glad you figured it out, because I'll be honest, I don't do a lot of trick takers.
Yeah.
But the fact that this is more than trick taking, and you add, and like all the special powers are in there, like for me, that was the catch. Like that was the oh, I can do this kind of trick taking, because it's just made it a different type of game.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I'm glad you guys figured that one out, because that was I feel like that is a really, like that is definitely like the different hook for it.
For sure, yeah.
Cool.
I mean, just the layering of the powers as well.
Yes.
And the other thing is trying to make sure that every card is good on its own, but also that it synergizes with other cards.
And that's a fun puzzle as you go. Yeah, very cool. So last part, I just kind of want to end on the fun, like rewarding, positive. So what would you say is either your favorite part of Origin Story, your favorite part of the experience, most rewarding? Just kind of what do you want to end us with on kind of that positive, this is what I love in here?
Yeah, so I love games with asymmetry where everyone has different things they can do, and I love that about Origin Story. And since I love trick taking so much, one of my favorite things is one of the core mechanisms of the game is that you choose if you're going to be a hero or a villain, and you say either I want tricks or I want to try and win 0 tricks. I think that's just a really fun choice. We made these really cool score dials that flip to show the alignment, which I just love these things.
We can totally show those off there.
When I came up with the idea, which was what if the score dial, because we originally had just like a token that you flipped.
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't the score dial. And so when we figured, or when I suggested, I was like, I don't know if it's possible to make a 2-sided score dial that shows the same score when you flip it, because the engineering of that is not something. And so the fact that this came out the way it did, it makes, I think, what's already a fun choice even more cool.
Yeah.
So
it totally works.
That's one of my favorite parts, for sure.
Well, yeah, and it's kind of nice because we did that. We played a 3-player game, and there was, or even the solo game I had, I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to win anything? And it's nice to have that, like, oh, I'm not completely in trouble for a round.
Yeah.
I can try to go the opposite and still make something out of this round.
For sure. And the incentives are such that if I have a hand where I think I'm going to win 1, I'd rather try and win 0.
Yes.
Right? So it kind of forces you to like push your luck a little bit, which I think is great.
Yeah, that was really cool. All right. Well, thanks so much, Pete, for taking some time out of Design Day with us.
Thanks.
Is there anything else you want to talk about in regards to Origin Story?
I hope people really love it when they get it. I think that if you love sort of the modern trick-taking games, or if you wish that they were a little more different. I think this one's going to give you a lot of variety that you're not going to get in other ones.
Great. Thanks so much for joining us on the Mill, Pete, and it was great to see you again.
Thanks so much, Carol.
All right. Thanks, everyone.